Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, back with more reading the My Hero Academia manga. This is chapter 369, Giggity. Um, and last we left off, man, Deku is absurd right now. I still don't fully grasp the new quirk that he has, but hold on one quick second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go turn off the light. But anyway, this chapter, I'm very excited because obviously Deku and Shigaraki are going at it. I don't really have any predictions other than I hope. I say this every chapter now. I hope we get a POV change. It doesn't have to be like right away in this chapter or whatever. I hope we get one eventually. I'll keep saying that until we do. But until then, I'm gonna keep enjoying Deku versus Shigaraki. It's fun stuff. Okay, let's begin. Chapter 369, Many Years. During the second's time. Oh! Okay, so we actually are getting a perspective change. Whoa. Okay, hold up. Okay, this is something I never saw coming. Back in the past, during the second's time. So this is the second user, which now we know is not Bakugo, so rest in peace that theory to everyone. Not my theory, but it was a collective fandom theory. Okay. So it's all black panels. This is in the past during the second's time. Many years. Why? As we get, I'm presuming this is all for one because it's not showing his face and that's typical fashion. He's grabbing the neck of, the second user, I presume. Kind of hard to tell right off the bat. He's all bloodied and stuff. All for one's crying. I don't know why he's crying. Did the second user do something? Why we get this box, which is typically a narration box, your quirk, as they're standing on top of a bunch of rubble of like a destroyed building or something, and there's a bullet that's coming out of somewhere, flying toward All for One. Scrolling down. Okay, your pathetic little pea shooter of a quirk was fit for nothing but the slight control of tiny objects. Oh, so he's thinking, okay, so this is why we're getting this flashback, is All for One's thinking like back when he first fought the second user, how kind of crappy his quirk was, but obviously over many years and being built up through decades within One for All, it's built up stronger. So your pathetic little pea shooter of a quirk wasn't fit nothing more than the slight control of tiny objects. Not even capable of squirming in your last moments, as stuck up and pompous as you were, trivial and small. Wow. And we get some great imagery here. Like we get a close-up of All for One's face and then a close-up of the second user's face. All for One's crying, which is weird. Why is he crying? Huh. Maybe I can only presume that the second user... By the way, on this rubble they're standing on, there's a bunch of corpses. This was a scene of a crazy battle or something. So anyway, scrolling down, now we're cutting back to the present. A tiny little bug. That's all you were supposed to be, he thinks to himself. Okay, so yeah, like I said, he's thinking very much about like how his quirk is like a lot stronger than it used to be. Coming back to the present, we have Deku and Shigaraki in the air. Shigaraki just absorbing these blows that Deku's leaving on him. And then we get a shot of the second user and I'm presuming, I think this is the brother. Okay. Sorry, I get my vestiges. I hesitate on them sometimes. Not as much detail. Why do I see you all? Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't know if he could actually see them. Like, I know Deku could see them, but I didn't know All for One could like see them. He's even asking, why can I see you all right now? As they're like behind Deku as these vestiges. Interesting. And then Deku wails on him again, smacks him right down to the floor. And Deku looking sick here. Gear shift. Okay, so he's still using gear shift. Last chapter, the second user said that when he does this, he's got a 5-minute time limit. I'm going to presume it's just because it takes a lot out of him. Like, that's the cool thing about My Hero Academia. As powerful as quirks can be, everyone who uses them is still human. And that's something that they've stressed over and over again, is that the human form has its limit for these quirks. Like, you know, so I do like how even no matter how strong Deku gets, he's still human. Okay. So Deku is flying down gear shift. Just like his other quirks, gear shift grew stronger alongside One for All. Yep. Understanding this quirk had spread to each and every cell in his body. And when the raw, stored up power of One for All overlaps with the gear shift, that smash, Detroit smash. Deku's coming in for an attack so quick that it's stretching his face like rubber. That's just to emphasize how fast he's coming down. Overlaps with gear shift, that smash packs enough power to bend even the laws of physics. Whoa. Okay. Powerful enough to bend even the laws of physics. Is that based on like the speed of it or just like the power of Again, there's a lot to this quirk. Quintuple. He hit him with a quintuple Detroit smash. That's 5, right? I'm like quadruple is quad, quin is 5, right? Wow, holy shit. As we get him smacking right into Shigaraki in the ground. Let's count the ripple waves, because there's like layers of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, about 5 if you count the one dead center. So wow. Okay. Interesting. Well, I mean, Deku's obviously OP as hell now. He's strong as shit. And we get smash. Oh, that's cool. It says smash, and there's like multiple layers of like it spells out smash, and there's like layer on layer on layer on layer of smash. 5 smashes all at once. Wow. Okay, so he's not actually hitting him with 5 smashes. He's hitting him with one that has the strength of 5, or is he hitting him with 5 within one strike? Either way, it's 5 worths of Detroit smashes. So Deku does like a somersault and like lands and like kicks his way immediately back. Deku is going crazy right here. He's even faster than before, Shigaraki thinks, or All for One, whatever. Is it because of that glowing energy he's been accumulating? Even if my eyes can't keep up, I can predict his next attack based on the angle and timing of the previous one. That's crazy. He's going so fast that he can't even be seen. That's like All Might. That's All Might shit right there. Because remember way back in season 1, or I call it season 1, like the early not joint training, USJ, All Might moves so quick the human eye couldn't perceive it. That's crazy how far Deku's come. And by the way, if I rub my eyes, I'm sorry. It's 3:30 in the morning. This chapter came out late for some reason. Even if my eyes can't keep up, I can predict his next attack based on the angle and timing of the previous ones. As he built up a winding attack with his arm. There, he swings and he misses. Deku's still a good 10 feet ahead of him. And Shigaraki's shocked by this. He's got those eyes wide open. He's like, what? Low gear. Oh, he can slow himself down. Of course. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like when fights do clever shit like that. Low gear. As he slows himself. This quirk, gear shift, the second he was just talking, can change your speed while ignoring inertia. Whoa. Dude, again, this is like the... I don't hate this quirk. I think it's really cool, but it's like, it's crazy how well this pairs with Fajin. Because he just like, it's crazy. He can build up inertia and then like keep that, I'm presuming, as Fajin energy, but he can still like slow himself. I don't know. There's like so many layers of ways you can use this in conjunction with his other quirks. Wow. You understand, don't you, All for One? I'm presuming this is the second you're still talking. then I'll just... And Shigaraki tries to punch the ground or something. And then Deku... I think Deku uses a smokescreen. Cool. I was hoping you'd use smokescreen at some point. I like smokescreen a lot. I know people will think it's like kind of useless, but I don't know. I think smokescreen is cool. He's not falling, says Shigaraki. Whoa. So Deku used the smokescreen, launched up into the air, and he grabbed Shigaraki with the black chain. Black whips, whatever you want to call it. It's black chain mixed with Fajin, Above, Shigaraki thinks. Once you've got the timing down, pinpoint where he is with the fourth danger sense. And immediately block his vision with 6 smokescreen. Oh my god, dude, he's got Deku doesn't have to think alone. He's essentially got a supercomputer of intense, experienced battle people in his head, telling him all this stuff. Maybe he's thinking all this too. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. Next, quickly rise into the air with the 7th float. Restrain him while he's unaware and reel him in with the 5th black whip. That's crazy. Finally, store up the power from quintuple with the 3rd Fajin. Dude, he's using all of his quirks. I just realized that. Smoke screen for the distraction, float to fly up into the air, using the black whip chain to grab Shigaraki. Now he's using... Okay. So he's using a combination of Fajin, because the inertia that he built up flying up there, with gear shift to build up this attack. Is there any I'm missing? Danger sense to detect his location. Wow, dude, he's okay. Whatever this attack is, he is about to unleash a world of hurt because it's using all of his quirks. Finally, store the power from quintuple. Oh, so he's using the inertia from quintuple. It's so crazy how that can stack into itself. He punched someone, and then that force charges your... that's crazy. With the 3rd Fajin and overdrive. Oh my god. That is a great shot. I don't even know what to say. That might be one of the most iconic shots in the series. It's Deku building up this attack that was just described, and behind him, it's all the users of All For One, even All Might in his ghostly form, all behind him with the fist. Dude, even the Ghost All Might has his fist clenched. Oh, it's so great. I love it. Technically he's not contributing to a quirk to this, but I love that the spirit of All Might's just raring to go still. I love that. That's a great detail. This has to be the thumbnail shot, right? Oh my god, that's so good. That's good. That's a good panel. What you need to be careful of is not the meta ability, the second says, but the reasons that move people to use that power. Power lies in that determination. That's why this time, I'm not holding anything back. Oh, as we get a rage... Deku's in kind of borderline rage mode right now. His skin is that red, dark, about to burst a temple kind of mad. You'll be the one to fulfill All For One. That's what Banjo said way back when. All for one. I won't let you, shouts Deku. And we get shots of... Oh no. Okay, this is what is fueling Deku right now. Again, I'm sorry if I rubbed my eyes. Mirio holding Nejire. And then I think this is Mirko trying to stand up against the rubble with Amajiki lying on the ground. And then we have, I presume this is Edgeshot still healing Bakugo. And then below that, it's Bakugo with jeanist barely conscious next to him. And he says, all for one, I won't let you... and then he doesn't say anything else. I think he's just saying something more. Silence, you insect, says Shigaraki. Dude, Shigaraki's getting his ass whooped. By the way, I don't think this is the end of there's no way this is the end of the fight. He's not even able to use his quirks. So, something's going to happen here, though. Hurt anyone else, shouts Deku. Wow. Okay. Deku is a mad lad. Let me just say that. Deku just punched him with this extreme force and so strong that it knocked all the finger body armor that Shigaraki has off his body. That's crazy. You'll be the one to fulfill All For One, or One For All. as call them quirks. I don't know what call them quirks is like finishing. That's why we, oh, okay. That's why we call them quirks. Okay. That was kind of poorly paneled to build that up because they said that's why we, and then like 7 panels later, after a bunch more dialogue, finishes it off by saying, call them quirks. I'm sure in motion and an anime make a lot more sense, but here is kind of clunky. Yeah, smacks the shit out of Shigaraki. Oh, ow, ew. Okay. The impact of the punch left a cratering hole, a black, can't see anything hole inside Shigaraki. I'm not, okay, this is gonna sound weird. Holes creep me out on like bodies and stuff. Like that's holes that aren't like organic. Like wounds and stuff. Like, and you can't even see, it's like a dark abyss in there. Ugh, creepy. I sympathize with you, says the first. One for all and all for one. All for one and one for all. Hey, at least they finally said that. I don't think in the series they've said that. All for one and one for all. One for all and all for one. I can see you, brother. What the young man with the round eyes said was correct. Talking about Mirio? Is he talking about Mirio, the young man with the round eyes? The continued battles, everything I've done until now, has shaken the balance of unity. As we're getting a peek inside. Oh yeah, is that all for one? This is where the going gets tough, kid. Remember what Shimura said, says the second user. Don't go collapsing on me now. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're starting to see the fatigue on Deku here. He still looks angry and stuff, and his skin is like the deep colors and stuff, but he looks like he's like like all this attacking, he just has to like just take a breather for a second. Like it's getting to him. Not hold anything back? Quirks? Are you mocking me? I haven't even used a single quirk yet. Okay, so my guess is this is the halfway point. I predicted as much. Because like I said, he hasn't even been able to use his quirks yet. He's just getting pummeled. Credit to Deku and stuff. He's doing the damage for sure. All the shit that Shigaraki was talking, he's flipping him like a pancake and like shredding him. It's granted, it's taking a lot out of him, but I haven't been able to show the true power of this body. It's their fault. That wretched Eraserhead and those brats. Okay, so you already know that All For One's in control here, because if it was Shigaraki, he would say his classic line of that pretty cool, the Eraserhead, or something. You know, this sounds like a hateful All For One who's talking here. It's their fault, that wretched Eraserhead and those brats. I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids. You know, classic reference. Sorry, I'll continue. It's 3:30 in the morning. Let me have some fun, okay? It's this damned coffin's fault. Such underhanded tricks. Each part. Everything I've done until now. Dude, he's about to like lose it. Oh yeah, he's, oh my god. Whoa, what is going on here, actually? This is weird. Shigaraki's almost looking like Barros or Boros from like One Punch Man. How when he gets mad, his hair like shoots out like super spiky, and like the hole in his chest is repairing itself or something. I don't know how it's repairing himself. Like maybe it's not repair. I don't know. Like he shouldn't have hyper regeneration, but we're seeing a bunch of stars glowing here. What is that? What does that signify? Is that just the barrier around him? Oh, let's count. Is that numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold up. Okay, I got a suspicion here. Let me keep reading before I get into that, though. He's still up to something, says Aizawa. Not yet, says Shigaraki. Ah, Yoichi. If everything I've done until now decides whether I win or lose, not yet, then I've still got a chance. Yes! Yes! Fuck yeah! Oh my god, okay. it's all been left to Spinner, question mark. 369N. Yes. Okay, perspective change, POV change, location change, however you want to say it. Yes. Oh my God, yes. Oh, that's what we wanted to see, Horikoshi. Thank you. Don't get me wrong, I've loved this fight with Shigaraki. It's been a blast, but like, there are so many other locations that haven't even started yet, and we're like halfway through the Shigaraki fight. We're seeing Spinner looking all sorts of jacked and amazing here. I've still got a chance. So Spinner's going to play a crucial role here? Okay. So we know Spinner is after Kurogiri, trying to free him. Is the hope that he's successful and then he's able to get Kurogiri and then warp him out of there? I'm presuming that's what it is. A lot to talk about here. Before I geek out about the location change, the interesting thing about the Shigaraki moment is these stars around him. There are 9 stars. Perhaps I'm crazy, and I'm probably wrong on this. For those of you who are deep in the lore of My Hero Academia, if you see all the movies and stuff, especially if you've read the Vigilantes, because Vigilantes actually explains this. Before All For One decided on Shigaraki or like, you know, to move forward plans with him and the Doctor were experimenting in a way with the vessels. And with these vessels, they were trying combinations of quirks, how many quirks could one of these vessels handle. And most people know of 9 from the second movie. Now, there's 9, and there's also 6, who I love because he's from Vigilantes. And 6, I'm not going to talk about 6 too much here, but 6 was one of those. In Vigilantes, they explain how there's like at the time of Vigilantes, 6 was the newest one, and then years go by or whatever, and 9 comes around. I'm just saying that's curious because 9 was the last one that presumably they had before Shigaraki, and there's 9 stars here. I don't know if that's what it's signifying. It could just be a coincidence, but if you think about like how Deku has remember how you ever see One For All activate and some hype moment, it's always like boom, 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 bouncing between like the orbs, and like there's 7 orbs or God, I can't remember. It's 3:30 in the morning. I'm trying to think here. But you know what I mean? Like it's bouncing between the orbs. Is that what's I swear, if that's what's happening here, and he's channeling some sort of like thing, I don't even know, like but the thing is, he can't use his quirks. Something's going on here, and these stars are something special. And my guess, for now, I don't have anything to base this off of, but like that has to do with the 9 things that came before him. If that's what it is, and they show like they explain like what the hell's going on, and we see 6, I'll take it. If that's gonna be the one character from Vigilantes to appear in this series is a small panel or a mention of 6, I'll accept that. As much as I want Koichi or Captain Celebrity or Knuckle Duster, who's my favorite, but there's no reason he would appear in this. I'll take 6 in a passing glance panel at this point. So maybe this theory is just hyped off my craziness of Vigilantes love. I don't know. But anyway, so there's that. And obviously Deku being amazing, using gear shift and stuff. Really cool. I can't say I love gear shift. Obviously, I think it's incredibly powerful, and it pairs beautifully with Fajin. Like it's stupid how good it pairs with it. So yeah, we know all of his quirks, and he's got quite the kit. And that attack he used all of his quirks in, I love it. someone could say that that felt forced. The fact that he had to do all those steps and stuff. No, I think I think that was beautiful. Really cool. But the end, the end. Oh, I'm almost tearing up. I'm on the verge of just like the sweet sensation and emotion of a new person, a new location. I wanted Kirishima and Mina most of all the other locations, because there's a lot. They released a map recently because it was a volume extra or something. And by the way, they also someone also shared in the Discord, link in the description for the 5 of you still watching. They showed what Horikoshi's comment was this week, and I find it so funny because this is what I've been saying forever. Last December of 2021, Horikoshi says a statement like, yeah, I'd say there's roughly a year left before the series is done. At the time, I call bullshit, because anytime you ever see a mangaka say, oh, this series is going to be done in this amount of time, it's almost always wrong. I think the most famous example is Oda. I'm pretty sure he's been quoted multiple times saying, oh yeah, we're like most of the way, you're like 85% of the way done, and then like years later, it's 90. But you know, Horikoshi, I'm not saying I want the series to go on forever, and I didn't say, oh, it's going to be another 3 or 4 years. I just thought there's so much left to do in a year, and here we are approaching December. We're 2 months away, and there's still so much left to do. So yeah, we're going to be seeing My Hero at least go through next summer, I think. So I think we got at least a good like 6-7 months left, at least around there. My own personal opinion. And part of the reason is this map they showed, and it showed all the locations, and I posted this on Twitter. I was like, I circled the places that hadn't even started yet, and it's more than half the locations. The only 3 locations, I guess 4. Well, no, 3. The only things we've had progress on is the All for One versus Endeavor, which is a great location. I wouldn't mind going back there. But not now, eventually. Obviously the Shigaraki fight that's been going on. Like most of this whole entire arc has been that so far. And the Dabi / Todoroki fight. A little bit. That one's kind of barely. I mean, they had their fight, and then since then we've got little crumbs of like development. So essentially 3. You could call it 4 if you want to consider the Toga situation, because technically it started, but for all intents and purposes, like that whole thing is going to be between Uraraka, Toga, and a little bit of Froppy. And in that sense, it hasn't started yet. But we've also got Kirishima, Mina, and the others versus Gigantomachia and Midnight's Killer. That's the one I'm most looking forward to. I'll be patient though. I'll be patient. This with Spinner versus Shoji and Koda, and I think President Mike was here. I'm sure some other heroes too. And we still have Sero and Sugar Rush and some of the others they're like at a stadium or something. I can't remember. And then we still have Aoyama and Fat Gum versus the Tartarus escapee, like one of the big bad ones. And then there was like one other. Again, it's early. It's like super late / early in the morning. I apologize. If I look like shit, I should have said this at the beginning. Again, like I stayed up. This chapter came out late. But I'm feeling great because this chapter was awesome. But and I told myself, like, I'm okay with any location change. Any way you want to go, Horikoshi, just please give us some like, oh, fresh air. Like, oh, we've escaped this cage of Shigaraki and death and Bakugo, and it's so tense right there right now. And just like a roller coaster of intense, like agonizing brutality. And just like give us a breath of fresh air. And I will take Spinner. I understand a lot of people probably are mad reading this. They're like, oh, god damn it, we're switching to Spinner. The guy that the anime doesn't even like enough to represent. But no, I'm totally on board. Yes, give me this monstrosity of Spinner, who's looking like a giant Hulk monster thing. And we got this like Mon Calamari looking guy behind him. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's stabbing a guy. Oh, that's what he's doing. So as we know, Spinner is leading this revolution that Skeptic helped him rally together of mutants or people whose quirk has made them unappealing to society. This is a topic that's actually really interesting, and there's a amazing. I understand, like, there's a great reason why Horikoshi put Shoji and Koda for this situation. First of all, I love that they're getting their own thing to do. Those are two characters who have been barely active, and I think they're great characters, and I'm very happy for them to have a moment to shine here. So that's, first of all, the great thing. But of all of Class 1A, they're the two that suffer. I don't want to say suffer. They're affected the most by quirks transmorphing the way they look. And I think that's intentional. I think that's really intentional, because Spinner, his whole story, despite what the manga will tell you, which is despite what the anime tells you, which the anime says, oh, this guy doesn't matter. The manga, we know that Spinner is an outcast. He struggled a lot with the way that society perceived him. He felt like a nobody, and he found the League because they felt like a cause that he could, like, be a part of and get behind. So, and now he's leading this army of people who are like him, who have quirks that make them look not human. So I think this is all going to come together. I'm actually really fascinated, because this is something that they've kind of alluded to here and there throughout the series, like people having quirks that make them look, unappealing and stuff. But here's a good chance to, like, have a good message, like, bring it home. I think this is a very fascinating location. Maybe it's just me. I won't be surprised if this chapter, because as to peel back the curtain a little bit, doing reactions to these, when I read the chapter, I have a good gauge in my mind of, like, oh, is this video reaction going to get a lot of views, or is it not? Typically, I know chapters that get a lot of views, like the one that Bakugo died. I think that's, like, my most viewed chapter. But other chapters where it's like about Toga or something, well, they don't perform well. So I can only imagine. Well, Deku and Shigaraki took up most of this chapter, so I'm sure that people will still want to check it out. But I'm most hyped about the location change and Spinner and this potential route to talk about racism in My Hero Academia. I think it's a very fascinating situation, and I'm on board. Yes, please. I'm okay with leaving that on a cliffhanger. Again, I have theories about that. I talked about it a few minutes ago, which, oh my God, if there's show 6, even for a panel, you're a boy. I'm going to get up and cheer. I'm going to do it. If anyone from Vigilantes appears, I'm going to get up and cheer. I promise you. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say there's a break next week. Please don't be a break next week. If there's any week not to have a break, please let it be not this one. Oh, I'm very happy. It was a great chapter on its own, but, like, it's this tease. Yes. Give it to me. Spinner action, baby. It's so funny. Like, I bet Horikoshi was, like, watching the anime, and they were like, he's like, man, I wrote them all this stuff for Spinner. And they just, and Redestro, and they just cast him aside. I'm going to make them appreciate Spinner in the anime. I'm going to make a whole dedicated side story to this fool. They'll see. That's what I imagine anyway. So, yeah, I'm crazy. It's 3:50 in the morning, but it's worth it for My Hero Academia. Great chapter. Is there anything else I want to talk about here? So I'm curious, are they going to go more in depth on this backstory thing? Because I assume it will, because it has to explain why All For One's crying here. My guess is So we know that the second user is the one that, like, I guess, rescued the first. So is that why he's crying? Like, he's mad that he, like, set him free? I don't know. There's been some theories about that in recent weeks, like the relationship between All for One and his brother. But there hasn't been a lot to go on. I don't know. I hope they explain why he's crying. I'm kind of curious about that. Okay, that's all I really want to say. I think the rest is self-explanatory. Gear shift is amazing. Not my favorite quirk of Deku's. I think it's either Black Whip or Smokescreen. Like, I think most people would be like, "Oh, I like Gear Shift because it's strong and it makes Deku like a Goku character." I don't care about that. Give me some, like, uniqueness. There's a lot of characters that can just punch hard, you know? I'm not saying this power isn't cool. It is, but anyway, that'll do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Sorry for rambling. 36 minutes, kind of a long one. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your thoughts down below. If you like this video, consider liking, subscribing. I think only half of the people who watch these videos are subscribed based on the numbers. So let's bump that up to 2/3. Let's make a nice goal. 2/3 of people who watch these be subscribed. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle, hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.